Check out the cover of the latest edition of the Memphis Flyer. There it is on newsstands right now, wherever you get the Memphis Flyer. For me, that is the Huey's right around the corner from the station, and the cover story, late night eats. What are your favorite late night eats around Memphis? I bet you everybody has one opinion or another. Let's bring in the author of that article, Michael Donahue, joining us on the Action News 5 digital desk to talk about his article, The Late Night Eats, and the experience of finding the best late night eats. Michael, good morning to you. How difficult was it to really kind of get the data for this article?
Well, good morning. Yeah, I shared the story with Sam Chichi, and can you hear me okay?
I sure can, Michael. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry. So Sam Chichi and I did the story together, and it's interesting that there are places you can eat late. I mean, it's last year we did the first one, and we went to Alex's and Panta, and you can just, eat fancy late night now, which is great. It's something nobody was even thinking of during the pandemic, and maybe this is a trend, and more places are going to start serving till midnight. But like Bog and Barley, you can have the porterhouse with cider glaze, up until midnight, and that's something I've eaten at 7 o'clock. But it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, no question about it. When I got here to Memphis, it's so funny. It's like I knew right away some of the late night eats that were around me, and it's all about the kitchen, staying up late, that sort of thing. And when I asked some people earlier this morning, Michael, some of their favorite late night eats, everyone had a different place, and so that just speaks to the foodies that we have in this town, to make sure that there are some kitchens open, so that when it comes time and you got that hunger going, that you can find a place to kind of dive in, get something to eat, and continue on your journey there. Were there some that in the article that maybe people would be surprised about? You said Bog and Barley. That's one of the newer restaurants in town, right?
Yeah, and that's a beautiful place, in addition to just, great food, but it's magnificent. I mean, when you walk in those doors, if you've never been there before, it's just, it looks like a temple. I mean, it goes way up. It's gold. It's, just packed with people. But it was amazing, the great food everywhere. I mean, people might not think of Black Lodge, where you go watch movies and it's movie focused, but they have a restaurant called Eat inside, and just some of the most wonderful food, like these waffle sandwiches using waffles, for the bread, and a grilled cheese sandwich. You can put syrup over it if you want to. And then on the other extreme, if you go to Tiger and Peacock, one of their items is caviar with Lay's potato chips. And this is something you have to be ready for, because it's $95.
Oh my gosh! $95 so for that.
So that may be the only picture you'll ever see of me eating that, unless somebody's going to buy it for me. But no, it's great. I mean, it's such a great combination, and it's the saltiness of both the caviar and the Lay's potato chips, but they bring it out in a Lay's bag, just one of those little Lay's potato chip bags, and then they bring the caviar all fancy out, and there's something for everybody late night.
No question, and I love that. I mean, it's like, wow, I would have never thought of that combo of Lay's potato chips and caviar together like that, costing $95 right around the corner from the station. You said that this is the second time you've done this. Is it because the first time you did it was so popular? And what's the difference between this group of restaurants and the group you did the first time around?
Well, it's finding them, and it seems like it wasn't that difficult to find more. Seems like it was harder the first time to come up with late night dining. I mean, granted, it was a year ago, but we got good response. And I've just always, there was, of course, now I'm going to forget the name of it, but it was behind Ernestine and Hazel's. It was but I remember at one point they were serving fine dining food at 1 o'clock in the morning. And I remember ordering, just something like you'd get at Erling Jensen or something at 1 o'clock in the morning. And it was just great, because a lot of people, we used to start out going out for the evening at 11 o'clock at night. So, but now there seems to be maybe a growing number, and you've got my interest piqued by your coworkers coming up with places. So let us know, because we want to find more, because I'd love to make this an annual event, every.
I think you should, and I think you got plenty of places that you could go to. Again, this is the cover of the latest edition of the Memphis Flyer, where you can read more of Michael Donahue's story about late night eats in the Memphis area. One of the places that I remember when I first got into town many years ago, Michael, was Half Shell. Half Shell had a late night kitchen, and of course they have a couple different locations. And so, I mean, that's just one place that I'm thinking of. But that's what makes it, I think, is that there are so many different restaurants, especially those that you just mentioned that are part of hotels that stay very late when it comes to being open and the kitchen being open for everybody to just kind of have a late night snack.
And let me reiterate. So this story was co-written by me and Sam Chichi, and we both are food writers for Memphis Flyer and Memphis Magazine. So, it wasn't just me, believe me. Sam, he spearheads, and he's great. So we both wrote this story and went out, and we both ate the caviar and the potato chips. I didn't get to eat all of it. Unfortunately, I had to share it. But we had a good time. But anybody, if people have some ideas, please let us know, some of their favorite places to go late night that, we may not have thought of. We're open.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I love it. I love it. Again, late night eats, Memphis Flyer, memphisflyer.com. Anything else, Michael, before we let you go? And of course, Sam, we've talked to Sam plenty of times with regards to various eats around town. But anything else you want to mention before we let you go?
No, one thing that's interesting is like at the hotel, like at the Memphian where Tiger and Peacock's located, he said that they pretty much have a cutoff at midnight because the floor below them, just out of courtesy to people who are staying at the hotel. But you're free to, take your drinks and food, and they'll even help you go down in the lobby and just continue your night. Or he says there's other late night places around, like Zebra Lounge, and so you can continue your night. But at that place in particular, they give you a little grace period, but they want you to pretty much move downstairs. But they're very nice about it. It's not like they're giving you the heat. No.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, especially when you got Overton Square right there, you can go to any other late night place. But for sure. Well, listen, Michael Donahue, this has been great. Always good to talk to you, and appreciate you illuminating us with some of those late night haunts where we can, just grab a quick bite to eat when we're out on the town. Michael, thanks.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you. Talk to you soon.